Let's see. Do I got everything? All right. I've got my controller. I've got my bag of chips. I got my Mountain Dew. All right. Let's fucking do this. Player 1 enters the game.
Excellent. It would appear that they have all served me drugs. Oh, I'm sorry. Player 2 has entered the game.
Player 3 reporting in.
I've got my 8-can of Heineken, and I've got a big blue E painted on the side. Player 4, ready to roll.
So, yeah, exactly what was Laura Cross' phone number again? Oh, yeah, Player 5, ready to go. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Splitscreen Complex. This is episode number 1. I would like to welcome you all to the newest podcast that we're all doing here. My name is Gunnar. I am Player 1. Arcadum is Player 2.
Hello, I'm Arcadum. I am Player 2. And your evil overlord for this evening. Player 3 is Yankum.
Who let Lord Steambath in here? No? Too obscure?
A little.
What are we talking about?
Speaking of obscurity, I sincerely hope they still make the Heineken cake can, otherwise my previous intro might be lost.
Oh boy.
And I am Omega DR, Player 4.
And I am the comedy relief of this place, only you will have that from each and every one of us tonight, I believe. My name in the online world is Net Jester, and I'm Player 5 tonight.
As we all know, there are only 4 players in a four-player game in the split-screen complex. Player 5 does not exist. This is the joke.
Well, Player 5 is that guy that hangs out by the fridge and just kind of tries to give advice to everybody.
And kind of
guy who
waits
never
his turn.
plays.
Kind of waits his turn. Yeah, he's got next, and he is also the person eating your food.
Yeah, I know, right?
That I can do, yes.
All right, and now with the news. Player 4.
Well, hot off the heels of Steam's 3 big announcements last week concerning the Steambox, controller, and OS, turns out that Half-Life 3 was actually trademarked in Europe this week. However, it turned out to be a false alarm, as the trademark was removed just as quickly.
So, was that actually Valve that made the trademark, or was that just some crazy fan?
I believe it was Valve. It was an EU trademark for the Trademarks and Design Registration Office of the European Union, or OHIM. And, when it first came out, people were saying, these trademarks pop up all the time. It's not really meant to mean anything. So apparently it was a false flag.
You know that the guy that's running that thing, the guy working at the front desk that gets that paper, sees that, and he just starts he's probably the guy that set off the alarm, you know what I mean?
Or at least some intern in that goddamn office who's like, Half-Life 3 confirmed. This is going to get me so much Reddit karma.
Ugh.
Yeah, I'm not saying aliens, but aliens. I mean Half-Life.
It's worth noting that on October 2nd, a new trademark appeared on the same site, this time for Portal 3. And I do believe that one is still up.
Oh, man. Well, we all saw that coming. Portal's
did.
been hugely successful. Gladys alone has made appearances in other games. I mean, yeah, that game is coming
Poker
back.
Night at the Inventory doesn't really count, but,
That's a game.
What are you talking about?
She was the dealer.
Counts.
You could play against her, man.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, she's one of the best parts of the game. That was amazing.
I love that game. All right.
What else we got, Omega?
Well, no Half-Life 3 just yet. However, you might have heard of the Ouya, the little gadget that kind of sort of plays games you can play on your phone a lot faster. Turns out that Mad Catz has an Ouya killer they're calling Mojo. It releases on December 10th for $250. Now that's about $150 more than the Ouya. However, it's 6 times as powerful, And according to the specs, it can most likely stream games directly from your PC to your TV because it has NVIDIA's new Tegra 4 chip.
Now, this is a phone thing, right?
Yes, it's an Android game. It's an Android console, essentially, where you can play pretty much any Android game that you could possibly think of, and it downloads from a certain store and whatnot. And there are games that are made specifically for it. I don't necessarily know if it has a lot of market presence right now. I've heard that the Ouya was, a piece of shit, to be completely honest. But that's $215 way too much. Because you can buy for $35 that Google Chromecast thing, and that just slings stuff from your computer to your TV.
To be fair, this thing does have a proper gaming pad. It rivals NVIDIA's own Shield handheld that you might have heard of.
I mean, that's all well and good, but from what I know of phone games, and I'm no expert in this particular field, but they're supposed to be played quick and easy and in places where you would just be bored, I guess, if that makes any sense.
Well, put it this way, it's not necessarily just phone games. It's got Google Play on it. So anything on Google Play. It's got 2 gigs of RAM, 16 gigs of internal flash, micro SD slot. It's basically the Shield, which is the little controller with the screen which can play PC games like BioShock Infinite and the like. It's basically the Shield without the actual screen. It just hooks up to your TV.
Oh, well, there you go, then. I guess I could see that.
Sierra Hotel, Echo India Lima Delta. Just saying. No, that sounds interesting.
You're not the only one that knows the phonetic alphabet.
Yeah. It's interesting. I don't necessarily. It seems like a kind of irrelevant market to me. I could be terribly wrong about that, but it seems like they're irrelevant. So
well, I think it falls under the casual gaming market.
Yeah, technically speaking. So you can play Candy Crush on your 72-inch LCD TV. Well,
hey, man, there's a lot of people. There's a lot more people with those TVs now than there were like 5 years ago.
That's true.
I mean, the market is changing. So I guess I could see that casual gaming now becoming like a really explosive thing. And I guess I'll look forward to seeing what it might come up with. I probably won't get one, but we'll see, right?
Absolutely.
Well, I tell you what, anything that can stream my pornography from my 17.3 laptop screen to my slightly bigger 20-inch TV screen is okay by me.
So what else we got to make?
Well, speaking of dirty things, how about Sonic? Sonic's got a new video game. And it turns out one of the DLC, which is also an Amazon pre-order bonus, is for, get this, 25 extra lives for, quote, the gamer who takes risks.
Huh? Please tell me that's the name of the DLC.
It says here on the screen, it says 25 lives, a safety net for the risk-taking Sonic player.
So you're... No.
It has finally come to this. Oh, good lord.
And this is for the Wii U or Nintendo exclusive Sonic: Lost World.
Sonic has a lost world in his colon?
For someone that takes risks, it sounds like for someone who's bad at video games. Speaking of someone who's bad at video games, I can tell you that is for people that is bad at video games.
I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, let's be honest. The notation of paying for an advantage is not something that's new to the gaming industry right now, especially with all the the freemium MMOs out there. I mean, it's not a new thing, but that, from what I recall, Sonic is a single-player experience in most cases, and therefore, releasing DLC like that just feels like... I mean, I, for one, have never agreed with DLC, like, in terms of, so you're releasing basically a sequel to the game, but it's not a sequel. It's about 2 hours of extra game content that you didn't include in the original game. Why? Like Skyrim's DLCs, they were actually like full on. They were acceptable to me because they were big enough. but like one extra level or like
The guns,
one extra thing like this. You know what I mean? Like
a gun or a car in Just Cause 2, for example.
exactly. That's ridiculous to me. Why do you not just update that in? I mean, to me, that is purely greed. That's all that is. And that is
pay for wrestlers in every WWE game with internet access ever.
Oh, yes. We can personally tell of horror stories when it comes to WWE games and what they've been doing with that as of late.
And also what Gears of War tried to do, where they did this big change in Gears of War 3 before Judgment came out, where they released this map pack that you could not play ranked games with your friends unless you bought this map pack. The pack was like $10. And I thought that was horrendous. That was ridiculous. You're paying for a fifth of the game, essentially. Or
If you're paying for a core part of the game, in my view, and I'm sure in a lot of other places, it's one thing to pay for extra clothes or an extra weapon or a skin for a weapon, but when you're paying for a core concept of the game, and we're talking about a Sonic game here too, so extra lives, you smash into a computer screen, there's an extra life. You get 100 rings, there's an extra life. It is a little bit in the sense of greed when you're trying to break it down into those very core parts. It's almost like saying, here, you can't make to level 3 until you pay, until you buy this key, this downloadable key, you know what I mean?
Yep. Exactly, and that's the direction we're heading in. And unfortunately, the true fact of it is the only reason they do it is because people buy it. People will do it. And that's the unfortunate truth, is that they will do it.
And by the way, there was an interview with a Sega representative who said that it will never be a thing in a Sonic game where you can just pay 99 cents and get more lives. But then he goes on to basically admit that this is sort of an optional thing for gamers to say, there's this other DLC pack with more levels with the new bosses, and if you find them too difficult, you can buy the DLC, you can buy the lives. It kind of minces his words a little bit, basically saying, it's not that you can buy more lives, it's that you can, to play the main game, it's that you can buy more lives to help you if you struggle with this other part of the game.
Which, of course, is bullshit. Just period. But anyway, that was depressing. What else do we have, Omega?
Well, to something slightly less depressing. Slightly. BioShock Infinite. Today, Rational Games released the first 5 minutes, actually, the footage of the new Burial at Sea DLC, where they revisit Booker and Elizabeth and revisit the City of Rapture, Episode 1, and then in Episode 2 coming out later on. Episode 1 releasing for the holiday season, I believe. And there's also new information on the Assassin's Creed 4 DLC called Freedom's Cry, where you actually play as the escaped slave who would eventually become the first mate on the ship of the main character in that game.
Now that's some balls right there. I love Ubisoft because of that. Because I love the Assassin's Creed games because not only are they at their core very fun to play, but because they're actually, hold your breath, educational. I learned a lot about Italian history from that game. Now that seems kind of ridiculous, but I checked up their sources. That's how together that company is, that they can make a game that is the exact representation, at least as exact as you can be, of a place in history that you get to play through. And I thought that was amazing and well done. Like, every single one of those games been exactly like that. And
the actual screenshot for this DLC is the man, his chains around his wrist, broken chains around his wrist, grabbing some kind of stone and lifting it in the air toward another person, presumably his master, as if to smash his skull in.
Which is going to be great. Like, that's a dark time in our history, but still, I mean, they've got some, balls to make that. And I think Ubisoft is a European company, if I recall correctly.
It depends on which level of Ubisoft you're talking, but I believe it's French Canadian.
Yeah. So I like that. I like it when a game is not, or when a developer is not afraid to like go into the dark, go into something that, just something that would have substance. Than
absolutely.
I don't mind if it's dark. I don't mind if it's light. Just substance, and Ubisoft has, at least in my opinion, provided every time.
And that was something that Infinite was kind of sort of going to do until they kind of stripped all away.
Oh, come on. You're okay. I don't mean to get in here, but as much as I do love Assassin's Creed, which I do, I would put BioShock Infinite as one of the best games that came out this year, right up there with Assassin's Creed 4.
I would too. And for a lot of different reasons, I think most people would. Because, to be quite frank, to me, a good ending makes or breaks a game. Look at Mass Effect 3, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, BioShock Infinite wasn't a bad ending, and spoiler alert, but I think that the ending they went with, a lot of people weren't ready for, and a lot of people weren't they didn't accept it because it was a quotations bad ending to them, like a negative ending.
Yeah, and I kind of felt like that too. Without getting spoilerish, it sort of feels like you're this main character and it's a negative ending. And I know that's trying not to be spoilerish, but that it's just good, and it makes a good game, and it's a strong ending, even though it's a negative finish, and it makes you want to pull your hair out because you're so mad that they did it. That is an excellent ending.
Exactly.
I'll give them this as a fan of the BioShock series. They came out and said that it was going to be different, and that not everybody, some people would like it, some people would hate it, and that is basically what happened. I feel, I could go all night on Infinite, but I feel overall, basically what happened was they had this big, lofty idea for a game, and they realized they delayed it, 2-3 times. They realized they couldn't do it, so they cut it into something different than what it originally was. And that's why we got the ending we got, because it was more of a shock tactic rather than a real... I don't believe that was always the ending. I think in spirit some of the elements were, but Gunner's chomping at the bit to...
Oh, yeah.
So the fun part about this is, I haven't played Infinite yet, and the thing that I was going to add to this conversation towards the beginning there was that I just acquired it the other day.
Cool. So
You're gonna like it.
I hope we haven't spoiled anything for you.
You're gonna hate it.
And so the past few minutes, I've had my headphones down because you guys have, because Arcadum said spoiler alert, and I was like, nope, no, not JPEG.
This is my honest
haven't spoiled
rendition
anything.
of how you're gonna feel, Gunner.
Okay.
A beautiful woman is going to slap you in the face over and over again, and that's what the game's going to be like. You're going to love every minute of it, but it's going to hurt.
It's going to be femdom? Oh, man.
It's going to hurt.
Yes, please.
Oh, well, who knows? That might be what Burial at Sea is all about. We don't know yet.
Well, see, that's the other thing, too. That's the other thing. They said for the DLC, they said, we're done with Elizabeth and Booker. We're going to explore new parts of Columbia.
They did?
And then they turn around, and not only did they have Elizabeth and Booker, but they're back in Rapture. So that's...
By the way...
That,
Oh, sorry, but honorable mention, Elizabeth, one of the best AI assistants, period. In, any game I've ever played, except for The Last of Us, which I haven't played yet, which I've heard the girl in there is just as good, but Elizabeth hooks a brother up during that game. You're going to love her.
Oh, absolutely. That's basically what she does.
I'm absolutely looking forward to this game.
She takes
Liz
care
is
of
incredible,
you.
yes.
She takes care of you.
Now, I'm going to state this all for the podcasters out there and for our new friends out there. Hello, new friends. I'm a patient gamer. I've a little bit of my background. I built my first computer this year. earlier this year.
Way to go, bro!
It's actually got some decent horsepower to it, so I can actually play the games that I've been missing out on for the past I don't know, a billion years. I beat Half-Life 2 like 2 years ago. And that started my little Steam, addiction, if you will. And I haven't had a PS3 until this year, and blah 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 blah. So I'm trying to catch up, and I'm being a patient gamer about all of this. So like, I'm looking forward to all of this nonsense with this BioShock Infinite, and I'm just going to 1 week, sometime probably in January after school lets out, and I'm not so busy. I'm probably just going to go 1-2 Infinite at some point. So there's that. All right.
I remember playing Half-Life 2 at it was a couple years after it came out at a Game Frog, if you remember those. Well, my mom and my sister shopped at the mall. I would sit there in Game Frog and just play Half-Life. And
out of what?
A Game Frog. It was a short-lived chain of in-malls. Basically, they had the whole setup. They had all the games. They had all the consoles, TVs, a couple of rows of PCs, and you basically went. You paid, $20 for 2 hours.
Yeah, it was an in-house game emporium like Cyberzone and other places like that.
Fun.
So with consoles, not actual coin-op video games.
No, they actually set you down. There was like in a nice whatchamacallit, it was kind of like
a couch or a chair.
Yeah, paying to go over to a buddy's house and play a video game. All right, I'm not going to steal Arcadum's gimmick. Arcadum, you can go ahead with your gimmick.
Oh, I was just saying, that makes me feel a lot better. So, Omega, how about them gaming Halloween costumes that we have written here for some reason?
Well, I could go on and on about Infinite, but yes, it turns out that the latest crop of Halloween costumes have hit the internet and hit the stores. Of course, Halloween in just a few weeks, and gaming, of course, will be represented, although I think the oddest gaming costumes have to be our old pal Sonic. I'm going to link a picture here in the chat and everybody can react to it. And you'll see some Pac-Man, Ghost, and Chun-Li, but it's the three Sonic costumes on the left that really get your goat.
It's probably not the fact that they're chock full of breasts either.
No, I don't think it's the fact that they're chock full of breasts, but
For the record, we should point out to our podcast audience that the picture shows three women in what would be a Knuckles dress, a Sonic dress, and a Tails dress.
So basically, sexy Sonic, sexy Tails, sexy Knuckles.
And then a guy in a Pac-Man Ghost that's just like really out of place with his hands in the air, waving them like he just doesn't care.
And the thing about it, is, these are the adult versions. They actually have a teen and also a girls version.
okay. All right, I'm going to ask the question. It's going to be really dumb. What's wrong with these? Because this just seems like a kind of like a non-slutty version of a beyond being like maybe 10% furry. What's wrong with these?
Well, I think it's more along the lines of how. I think it was more going towards, would we ever wear anything like that? Obviously not dresses, but I don't think it's a fact that there's something wrong with it.
Hey man, I'd rock that short skirt and those heels all day, every day.
If I had to choose to go as anybody, if I could get into shape, because obviously I want to be in better shape to do this, I would go as Asura from Asura's Wrath.
Yeah, you'd kind of have to be ridiculously ripped for that.
Oh man. And for those of you that don't know, Asura is the demigod of war from the game Asura's Wrath, who is amazing, and you should look that up right now. Omega, what would you go as for Halloween?
I think I would have to go with a sexy Big Daddy from BioShock. Which basically I would have the helmet, And then the rest of it would just be, French cut thong underpants. Then,
Assless chaps.
Assless chaps.
and of course, I would, of course, tell all the ladies that if they came back to my place, they could see my drill.
Oh, good lord.
Excellent. You should also tell. Oh God.
Arcade, what would you go this? You'd go as Azra. Omega, you'd go as whatever you just said, and I don't want to relive
sexy
it.
Big Daddy.
I really don't want to relive it. Yankum, what would you go as?
I would go as a sexy Leonard from Redneck Rampage.
Oh God!
What?
Oh Jesus Christ!
Are you gonna tie your chest hair into a bow tie or something?
Oh God!
Ladies, please contain your
I've
orgasms.
done that already.
Jester, what would you go as?
Well, I've got two options for video game characters in the chat. If it were comic books, then we'd be here all night. But the first is the video game Angry Birds, and I'd go as Luke Skywalker Bird, the Rebel pilot. Second, what I have linked in the chat is Sonic the Hedgehog, Boxer Briefs for Men.
The what?
Oh God! Oh boy!
Well, I
This
can only
is-
assume what Chester means is those briefs will be for when you have to go fast.
We gotta go.
Gotta go fast.
Yes, a trick or a treat. It's up to whoever sees the boxers to decide, yes.
Oh,
And Gunner,
I'm mortified.
what would you ask Gunner?
I'd be a box from Metal Gear Solid.
Oh, yeah, take away. Oh, that I should have.
I would just crawl around in a box, literally, all throughout the entire party. I would just come in. I would ring the doorbell. I'd be the box, and then you'd see me move.
Yep. And then, of course, every armed stormtrooper, soldier-esque looking guy would constantly look at you and would go, "Burr!" Or however that noise is. Yep, there
That
you go.
one.
It's like that.
It's the sound
And
I
then I
made when I accidentally swallowed the poodle.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Okay.
Okay, I think we're done with the news.
Oh, God. All right, Yankum. You got a review to talk to us about?
Yes, we're gonna move into segment. Hold on a second before Yankum gets into his review. I would like to introduce segment number 2, which is going to be reviews and recommendations. Each week, one of us is going to take a little bit of time, and we are going to rant and rave about a game that we've been playing, or a game that we have played and are recommending for a replay. So this week we have Yankum, who is going to review GTA 5 and GTA 5 and GTA Online.
Well, I gotta say, so far, this is shaping up to actually be very close to matching or even beating my favorite GTA so far, which is Vice City. I don't want to do spoilers because obviously the game just came out and I don't want to ruin it for anyone, but the storyline is really good for each of the three characters. There is plenty to do, but the main thing I want to talk about, because you can't really spoil the online, is the online, and it's kind of a mixed bag. There's a lot of good stuff to it. It's kind of utter chaos when you join a server, and anything could happen. But there's tons of missions to play. There's co-op play, which they kind of had in San Andreas, but not nearly to the extent that we have in GTA 5. It's just really, really good, and I am beyond excited for the heist missions to be added in that Rockstar's promised, because that is just going to be just a complete game changer as far as the co-op play. The versus play, there's death matches that are just incredibly fun to do. The teams are evenly matched well enough, depending on, of course, on player levels. But the game is that if you select balanced teams, the game does a good enough job of keeping things fair. There's a bunch of races to do. Players can race together or against each other. It's a ton of fun. There's both car, boat, planes, helicopters to race. I'm not very good at this. Good stuff. So let's talk about the bad stuff, because I'm really good at complaining. So here's the thing. There has been a lot of problems with character deletions where, and to Rockstar's credit, they've been completely upfront about this, and they really seem to be doing their best to get this issue resolved. But there are times when you will try and log into GTA Online, and you will get an error message, and your character will not appear, and it will give you the option to create a new character. And if you do, your old character will be deleted, and you have no way to get it back, which is shit if you manage to get to a high level, because if that character's deleted, then you have to go through the stupidly boring, just awful first couple of missions that are there as a kind of tutorial. And then you don't always get to keep your money, and 99.9% of the time, from what I've read, you don't get to be the level you were before your character was deleted. I've seen a couple of people say that they came on and they created a new character, which Rockstar has been putting out messages, do not create a new character, and people are still doing it anyways. They're like, you deleted my character. No, you're a moron. Anyways, the other bad thing is there are dickhole random players everywhere. These are assholes. Like, I get it's a GTA game, and I get you're going to shoot each other, but it is not necessary at the level that some of these guys are doing it. It is outright trolling. And it is shit the way they do it, especially when you get into a gunfight with one guy and then suddenly 6 more guys are involved and they're all shooting you, and it costs $1,000 for every death. And money, not that easy to come by unless you can get into the missions. You can rob stores, but you only get about $2,000 for each store you rob. So dying, very expensive, and people will kill you just to get the $25 that you drop when you die. Another thing, online game, so of course, squeakers. I don't think there's anything you could possibly do to avoid squeakers. I think it's just a part of online gaming. You just gotta deal with it. Another thing,
Squeakers?
He means young players with high pitch voices.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. When you've got 12-year-old kids from the suburbs shouting into their mic, things that I don't want to say on this podcast, certain language. And you know that I'll say anything, just about Gunnar can vouch for this. If I'm hesitant to say it, then these, 12 and 11-year-old kids certainly shouldn't. It's just not something I enjoy. Finally, Rockstar had this really good idea for a good sport, bad sport system. And the way it works is, if you do things that people find annoying game-wise, like team killing, quitting games, like missions and races and stuff right before you lose, so that you don't lose and it doesn't count against you. Just general shit things that some gamers do because they're assholes. You get a bad sport point. And if you don't do those things, and people, like you and they vote you up in the game lobbies, you get good sport system points. And the idea is that after a while, all the good sports will be able to play together, and the bad sports will be relegated to only being able to play with other bad sports. It's a great idea, but the system is broken. People give other people bad sport. You can just give them at any time. So people just give each other bad sport points because they got killed, or if someone loses a race, they can just give the other person bad sport points. And eventually you're going to have people who are good players relegated to this bad sport only section because assholes are sore losers and just general dicks. And I am not a fan. That system definitely needs to be fixed, especially because it will give you, sometimes the system will just give you bad sport points just fucking randomly. I've gotten one for, I was just driving around and this guy comes out of nowhere and I T-bone him and I got bad sport points for hitting and destroying his personal car. Well, I didn't destroy it, but I hit and, caused damage to it. It's like, you don't damage people's personal cars. That's bad sport. Fuck you. It's goddamn Grand Theft Auto. That's what you do. You destroy cars and kill people. I should not get bad sport points because some dickhole didn't look when he was coming through the intersection and I T-boned him.
Well, yeah. Well, that's just online play, man. I mean, that's really the way it is. It doesn't matter what game you're playing. Like any game that has a player-based tribunal system, that's gonna happen. But as for the review of the game, what did you like? What do you rate it out of 5? Like, what would you say?
Out of 5?
Mm-hmm.
The single player, 5 out of 5. Seriously, it's that good. The online, I'll give a 4 out of 5. When they get the problems fixed, a 4.5. Because I don't think they're going to be able to fix the good sport, bad sport thing. I think that's just going to be fucked forever. And because I hate squeakers, and you can't get rid of those. Who buys their 12-year-old kid, a friggin' Grand Theft Auto game? Do they not know that you can, fuck hookers and then kill them and take your money back? Wasn't that a big deal? Why would you buy that for a little kid?
That's called bad parenting. That is not the game's fault.
That's
true.
parenting. So okay. With that, I would like to jump into the recommendation of the week, and Omega BR would like to get into that, and it is the game called Papers, Please.
Yes, greetings, comrades. I'm here to recommend to you Papers, Please. The gameplay of Papers, Please focuses on the work life of an immigration inspector at a border checkpoint for the fictitious Eastern Bloc country of Aristotska. And if you think I got that off of Wikipedia, well, why don't you just get all of your podcasts off of Wikipedia then? Yes, you see, the basic gameplay of Papers, Please, you're basically an immigration officer, and each day you're tasked with the task of stamping the passports of various immigrants into your country. Now, as time goes on, you really have a lot to pay attention to. You know, basically you have to check, you get a little handbook, and it shows you the rules, basically, what countries have what logos, what day. You know, as the game goes on, there are more and more rules, basically, and you have to check every little thing. You know, you have to check their passport, you have to check their travel ticket. If they're a diplomat, you have to check those papers. If they're if they're a citizen of the country already, you have to check their ID card. You have to check every little bit. Is the name right? Has it expired? Are the logos right? Are the diplomatic papers right? Basically, every little thing you have to check, and you have to do it in a rather timely fashion because days, only last so long. And in between days, there is a little mini. It's not just a continuing puzzle game. There is a little mini story that goes along with it. You have a family. You have an apartment. You get paid for every passport you check. So you want to keep up your payments so you can keep your house and you can keep the heat on. You can keep your family from getting sick. And throughout this, there are also little mini tasks. For example, there's an anti-government organization known as EZIC that appears at the checkpoint and beckons you to basically let their members in for free, stamp their papers even if they're wrong. Certain people will try to bribe you. If you let them through, you'll get more money. But and basically how it goes, if you make a mistake, you get to make 2 mistakes. You get 2 warnings, and then you get docked pay for every mistake you make after that. So it's basically a matter of, who do you let through, who do you let through, and make sure that, you can't deny somebody if they're good, you can't let somebody through if they're bad, all that good stuff. And the game actually has many different endings that can happen based on your choices. You can get shot by the guards, you can shoot people. At some point, you can grab a gun and shoot people as they try to jump the border. So it really is, a neat little game. It feels a lot like work after a while. But, if you like to keep your mind sharp and you like to study all these little things that you have to keep in mind to let people through, check it out. It's Papers, Please. It's on Steam. You can buy it from the developer's website. And it's pretty neat.
Boom.
All right. Thank you very much, Omega BR. All right, so that concludes our reviews and recommendations this week. We are going into segment number 3, which is our game segment, which is the time when we have fun time on the podcast. And this week we are going to have quiz show. This is Arcadum's quiz show, and here's your host, the one, the only, Arcadum.
Gentlemen, basically what we're going to do here is I'm going to ask you a couple of, we're going to do true or false. That's what we're going to do. All right? And then I want you guys to vote true or false. And then your reactions afterwards, I want you to all gasp and go, no way, and we'll discuss it if it's interesting, and if not, we will continue. So, without further ado, let's get started. True or false? The clouds and bushes in the original Super Mario Bros. Were drawn differently.
I'm gonna say false. I assume everybody else can answer too.
Correct.
I will say. Oh,
You say what?
I mean, gasp.
Gasp! You are
I think
lying,
he's out of
Arcadum.
breath.
You are lying, Arcadum, and you are a fool.
What?
You are lying, and you are a fool. Next question.
What? I never answered it though. I never revealed the truth.
Oh, okay.
But you said the clouds in the background was different, and I said false, and you said correct.
No, I said correct as in other people can answer.
Oh, well then false.
Omega, what did you say? I'm sorry.
Well, then, in that case, I will say true.
Yankers.
I'm gonna agree with Omega.
All right, Net Jester.
As usual.
Let's see. Gunner or Omega? Gunner or Omega? Can I split the difference and just say Yankum?
Well, he said Omega. So they are all saying true, and I am saying false.
Well, the correct answer is in fact false. The clouds and bushes in the original Super Mario Brothers were drawn exactly the same, merely colored differently.
Coloring is drawing.
Processing power.
All right. The next thing we have right here is the following. Okay. In the original Disney movie, Tron, which I haven't seen, does Pac-Man appear?
I got that one.
I will say true.
I will say yes, because that's a yes or no question, not a true-false question.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pac-Man appears in the movie. True or false? Sorry.
Well, then true.
True.
Yankum.
B. Wait, no. True.
Very good. That is a correct answer. True. Pac-Man does appear in the original Disney movie Tron.
Is it in the arcade?
It is not. It is actually on the radar viewing board. I think somewhere in the middle of the movie.
In the
Pac-Man.
command carrier.
The command carrier. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yep. Pac-Man's eating some nuts. Okay.
You know, about that movie Tron, what's the point of that movie?
Oh,
I don't know. I haven't seen it.
Are you kidding me? It's a modern fable. It's a old classic rescue the villagers from the evil overlord, only set in a video game computer.
I thought it was proving that blue is the best color for a computer.
Yes, that too.
Anyway, the next true or false statement. Sony's PlayStation was originally planned as a CD-ROM add-on for the Super Nintendo. True or false?
True.
False.
Yankum.
I have no idea, so... false?
That was supposed to be a guess, Yankum. We know you have no idea.
Net Jester.
That's true.
As a matter of fact, it is in fact true. Sony's PlayStation was originally planned as a CD-ROM add-on for the Super Nintendo.
That deal fell through in the it was supposed to come out for like 1995 or something like that in response to Sega CD.
All right. Now, we've all heard horror stories about how awful E.T. the Extraterrestrial for Atari 2600 was. But this next true or false statement. E.T., as in the video game for Atari 2600, sold more units than Space Invaders.
Oh, jeez.
True or false?
True.
True.
They were more produced than Space Invaders, but I'm going to say false. They were not more sold.
Net
No,
Jester?
it's true.
As a matter of fact, it is true. E.T. for the Atari 2600 not only sold more than Space Invaders, but it sold 50% more. 1.5 million units compared to 1 million.
Which is pretty sad knowing the debacle that happened afterwards.
I believe there are still landfills filled with these cartridges somewhere in the desert in Arizona or something.
Certainly
All
not
right.
filled next to IBM computers, which of course is the reference I was making earlier. IBM, think.
All right, here we go.
And if they would like to send us some material, you know.
Shameless.
All right. The original hero in the design of Half-Life was named Ivan the Space Biker. True or false?
I believe that's true.
Ivan the Space Biker. This is going to be a tricky one. I'm going to say false.
Matt Jester?
I'm going to say it's too damn weird to be a lie, so it's true.
Yankum?
Yeah, true.
As it turns out, it is in fact true. The original hero for Half-Life was named Ivan the Space Biker. Thank
How
God
did
Valve
we get
came to
from
their
him
senses.
to Gordon Freeman?
You guys should see the look on it, like his face design.
Well, I mean, that seems kind of obvious. He had a crowbar, and he had to deal with aliens. Ivan the Space Biker seems kind of like, you know, a natural jump after that point. I mean, haven't you played Road Rash?
All right, here we go. True or false? Bowser's laugh is actually a... Oh, hold on, I messed that up. All right, X that one. Move on to the next one. In Metal Gear Solid 3, you can kill the end with old age.
Can you repeat that?
In Metal Gear Solid 3, you can kill the enemy known as the End with old age.
True.
It's false.
False.
Net Jester?
Grandpa. Excuse me. Yes, that is true, as a matter of fact.
Correct! It is in fact true. In Metal Gear Solid 3, players can save their game at the beginning of their fight with the End, and then change the PS2's clock to a week later, resume the battle, and the End will be dead from old age.
Oh, yeah.
Hilarious.
Yep. I've done that a couple of times.
You know what never dies of old age? The IBM personal computer. Quality products.
You're not going to give that up tonight, are ya? You want Big Blue to send you something.
Well, I'm being realistic. It's not like they're Apple.
And it's
Because
not
they're
like
better.
It's not like you're Stephen Colbert either, that he actually got something from Apple.
Oh boy.
Because they're better, of course.
All right, here we go. The Legend of Zelda, in its beta version, gave the players the choice between a sword and a spear. True or false?
True.
Oh, come on. I want to say true. I'm going to say true.
Yankum and Jester?
No idea, so I'll just say false.
As a matter of fact, that is a false statement. The Legend of Zelda's beta version gives players the choice between a sword and a boomerang at the beginning, not the spear.
I knew you were going to trick me on one of them. God damn it.
All right, and now for the super duper duper bonus question. This is not a true or false statement. This is for all the monies and will end the prize show. In Street Fighter 2, in its original version,
God damn it.
what does Ryu shoot with his Hadouken?
Who goes first?
Omega, go first.
False.
I
not a
asked a
true or
question.
false. It's a question, dude. Not a true or false.
All right, I am going to say he shot a Zune.
Okay. Yank 'em.
I have no idea, so I'm going to say a spider monkey infected with AIDS and SARS.
Gunner.
Red energy ball.
Net Jester.
And just to keep us on the comedy vein, a pumpkin.
In Street Fighter II's original version, Ryu actually shot his hands with his Hadouken.
Are you kidding me?
I am not.
That's great.
That's
Wait
nuts.
a minute. Wait just a minute. The Zune was a Microsoft product, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was. It still
All right,
is.
then I changed my answer to ThinkPad. I gave ThinkPad all the way.
What the hell?
IBM ThinkPad. Okay. And there we go. That ends the trivia.
The only thing on the market with a fingerprint reader.
Oh God.
Oh, have you not been keeping up with the news?
All right. Well, speaking of the news, we're going to get into our last segment here, which is deals, recaps, and when we say goodbye. So this week we have a bunch of stuff on sale, and I'm going to run through a few things for you. The notable thing that I found that was on sale for consoles is a used copy of Heavy Rain at Best Buy, currently online. Free shipping, $8. It's a really good game, considering that Beyond Two Souls is coming out this week. I would suggest it. The Steam weekly deals have come out, and these last all week, and probably from the majority of the time that this podcast is relevant, relatively speaking, unless you're listening to a back podcast, which, hello, person from the future, I hope everything is okay and the government isn't still shut down. But we have this week Robin Hood: The Legend of Sherwood for $249, and these are all U.S. prices, by the way. MX versus ATV Reflex at $4, which is a low price. The Flat Out Complete Pack for $9.99, which has Flat Out 2, Flat Out 3, Chaos and Destruction, and Flat Out Ultimate Carnage. These are similar to your Burnout series on the consoles. However, it is Flat Out, which is a little more jokey. It has the drivers involved as well, and some of these games are really terrible, so I would avoid a few of them. We have a couple little ones called something called the Governor of Poker 2, which is $250. I assume this is a poker ripoff. The Cobra Complete Pack, which is the I Bomber series, and Storm in a Teacup for $7.20. Betrayer for $10.04, which I believe is the first time that's on sale. A piece of software on sale is the Magix Movie Edit Pro 2013 Plus for $66.99. Leisure Suit Larry and the Land of the Lounge Lizards Reloaded is $11.99, a game which I imagine NetJester is salivating over at this current moment. Teleglitch, the Die More edition, is $3.25. 4 Elements, which is a match game, for $1.50. I believe that's from Lore. Worms Revolution for $7.49, which is the newest copy of Worms. Commander: The Conquest of the Americas, which you should wait into the bundles, for $2.49. Field Runners 1 and 2. 1 is $2.49 and 2 is $4.99. And that is your deals of the week for Steam. Let's see here. Their midweek deals include Assassin's Creed 3 for 60% off and Ace of Spades, which is 66% off. I would avoid Ace of Spades. Personally, I tried their free weekend and I did not like it. But that's just me. Okay, so we have bundles coming up this week. Bundles, we have the Humble Bundle Weekly Bundle, which is the Nordic sales. They've got, let's see here. Red Faction Armageddon, Supreme Commander Forged Alliance, The Guild 2, and Neighbors from Hell compilation for $1. And then you pay $6 or more to unlock Painkiller Hell and Damnation, which is the latest Painkiller game. Arcania, which is a pretty good RPG. Darksiders 2, and Spellforce 2: Faith and Destiny. And that's for $6 or more. Currently open for the next day or so, and then they will announce it. The other Humble Bundle is ending very shortly, probably by the time that this podcast is published. So the Humble Mobile Bundle 2 next week will tell you about the newest bundle that's coming out. So we also have the Groupies 1C Build a Bundle, and it's starting probably by the time you hear this. 25 games, build your own bundle, which means you pick and choose whatever game you want. $1.52 game, $1.50 minimum, and 99.9% of the time, whenever they have build a bundle games at groupies.com, you can probably just buy one for 75 cents. At some point or another during the sale. So keep your eye out for that. And then the Bundle Stars Quickfire Indie Bundle. Bundle Stars is quickly becoming one of my favorite bundle sites. IndieGala.com and IndieRoyale.com also have bundles, which I am fond of. But this particular site has a whole bunch of games. And so here's the list for $3.49. This is totally worth it. So you have $10 to Warframe, which is a big MMO game. GTR Revolution, racing game. Dark Sector, Cannon Fodder 3, the Septerra Core, Legacy of the Creator, Space Pirates and Zombies, 1953 KGB Unleashed, which I believe just got released to Steam recently, and Guardian of Graxia and Map Pack DLC, and Guardian of Graxia Elves and Dwarves DLC, all for $3.49. And usually they add stuff to this too. So I mean that's a pretty damn good deal, and that's going on for the next couple of weeks. So you should check that out. It is called the Quickfire Indie Bundle from Bundle Stars. I'm impressed by this bundle. And so the games coming out, and then now finally we're going to get into games that are coming out this week. This week, on October 8th, we have Beyond Two Souls, Disaga D2, A Brighter Darkness. What's up?
I said boo.
Boo? Why are you saying boo?
Not an Etna fan, I guess.
At Beyond Two Souls.
Oh, yes, you and their Beyond Two Souls hate. Both of those are for the PS3 exclusively. We have F1 2013, which is for Windows, PS3, and Xbox 360. Just Dance 2014, Arcadeum's Game of the Year, for Wii U, and Xbox 360, and PS3. A little game called Pokemon X and Y, which is actually set in Gen 1, which I might be playing for the 3DS. Skylanders Swap Force, which is the next Skylanders game, which is, the game that popularized physical DLC, which we all love. Right, guys? Right, guys?
Do not get me started on Skylanders. I will murder everyone here.
It is for the Wii U, Xbox 360, and PS3. And that's on the 13th. And then on the 15th, we have Valhalla Knights 3 for the PS Vita.
In fact, let me just say something real quick here. Take me like 2 seconds. Spyro the Dragon was my Mario. Spyro the Dragon was probably one of the greatest characters in video game history, in my opinion. Period. End of discussion. Spyro the Dragon had a great series of games that all did rather well with their their niches. And it had probably a most fitting end for the character at the end of Dawn of the Dragon. And then Skylanders came out and peed all over everyone's faith. And I hate them. I hate all of them for it. They ruined my Spyro.
I'll get your my pretty and your little purple dragon too.
I love Spyro the Dragon.
I have something to say too.
If it's about IBM.
No, it's not. If he had slightly smaller breasts, you could say that Ellen Page looked like Justin Bieber.
Oh, for God's sake.
Who's Ellen Page?
She's the star of Beyond Two Souls, and Willem
the
Dafoe's in
actress
there
of
too.
Many terrible movies. That's now the star of a terrible game.
You're actually going to look at me and say Juno was a terrible movie.
The worst, absolute worst I've ever seen.
Oh, good God.
Anyway, so
First of all, there was no nudity.
What?
Well, she was only, what, 16 at the time it was made? I mean, I know we're pushing for stuff to make it a better civilization, but that's a bridge too far.
Hey, if there's grass on the field, play ball.
That's true, yeah.
What the hell is
got
wrong
to-
with you people?
We never got to see her bare stomach. That was another thing.
Anyway, Gunnar, is there anything else?
That's it for this week. I was thinking, actually, we could close out the show with our gamer tags, the little things that we have to plug so that people can come play with us. And then maybe you could potentially start talking about, some sort of Let's Play thing that you have planned for the future.
Absolutely. Well, let me go ahead and tell you a short thing about that. I will be starting a Let's Play here pretty soon, within the next couple of weeks, or whenever I get a better computer. I might do it after I come back from vacation. I'm going to Florida from the 15th to the 23rd. But I'll be starting a Let's Play, and the first Let's Play I'll be doing Dark Souls. And I will be doing it all in character, as the character I will be playing as. So you can look forward to many hilarious adventures with me running away, scared like a little girl.
Well, Dark Souls will do that to a person.
Right, and I am Arcadum. Sounds just like it sounds, Arcadum. And I play on Steam, pretty much anywhere. Just look me up.
And Jester, your Steam is...
Well, I go under my other cyber nom de guerre, which is RickSlamU2, and then parentheses, capital letters NJ with exclamation points for NetJester.
Yeah, come, Omega.
I don't want to give away my Steam name because I don't want random people messaging me like, hey, how's it going? And I'm like, I don't know you. That's my purse. So
What do you have in your purse is the question.
crack cocaine. And strangely, the number for some stripper named Candy written on a napkin that seems to be soaked in blood. Weird. I will give my PSN out. You can add me TEHNOD to Nod, because Lord Nod is always taken because some fuckwad keeps stealing my handle. When I find you, I will find you, and I will hurt you.
He won't. He's harmless. Trust me. He would have found me by now. And Omega, your handle is...
Well, my live handle is OmegaBR1. I don't know who has OmegaBR, but let me tell you something. I know it's you, Paige. I know it's you.
Oh, boy.
Oh my god. And I'm Gunnar. I play on Steam. You can find me at steamcommunity.com/id/GunnerKing. I'm the Gunner with the blue eye from Hard Reset. I play TF2. I play a little Left 4 Dead. I play a little CS:GO. If you want to come play with me, come at me. We'll probably get a Steam group set up sometime this week, and you can all join, and we'll post the podcast there. And we have a website. Yanko, what's our social media situation looking like this week?
We don't have a Twitter yet. I'm making a Twitter right now. Username Splitscreen Complex is not available, so we'll come up with something, and we'll update you next week. Also, Gunner's in charge of Facebook because I hate Facebook with a passion.
We'll make a Facebook. We'll make.
I'll get you, Zuckerberg.
No, you won't. We don't have a Facebook yet. Let's put it that way. So do we have a website to point them to? or the YouTube page. The YouTube page is youtube.com/Splitscreen Complex. Yes? Yes? Maybe.
YouTube.com/Splitscreen Complex.
And you guys can come check out our podcast there. We're going to try to broadcast every Tuesday. We may or may not miss a day. That it tends to happen. Once the Twitter gets set up, we'll let you know if we're actually missing a day or not. And we'll also set up Let's Plays, and, we'll play with you guys some point or another. Stupid games if we're, online and bored, essentially. So, thank you very much, and game over.
Oh, I got this one. Hang on 1 second.